Yes, guys, welcome back to another stream. I'm back, man. I am back. Hopefully, you guys are all well. Hopefully, you've not missed me too much, man. Yeah, it seems ages. It's been a while, man. I was on holiday, innit? Went up to Scotland with my girlfriend, was there for a few days, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to have a few days off. There's not much to talk about anyway, so I'm going to chill out, let you guys chill, and we are back today. I've got Martin joining me in a few moments' time. He's just loading up the PC. Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. I actually burnt a little bit, man. Like, you can't really see it because the light's on me. I don't know if you can really see, but yeah, I burnt my forehead, man. It was well hot on that second day, man. I was in Scotland and it was like in 20 degrees and that, so it was 20 degrees. Like, that's hot. But you know what I mean? Like, in the UK, that is pretty hot, man. Anyway, hopefully, you guys are all doing well. Good to see you again. Please make sure you drop a like on the stream. Make sure you subscribe if you've not done so already. We do have the Champions League watch-along coming up as well. Tomorrow night, man. So I'm looking forward to that. Make sure you join me. It's at 8 p.m. kickoff, so I'll be live from about 7. Built to MCFC for life. Suvik's here as well. Built to Samuel, Dash, Halimi. Good to see you, bro. Big up to Sean, Trinity, Prodigal. Good to see you, man. Eric's here as well. Itchy, CB. Good to see you. Erling Haaland's in the building. Harry, MA, Balotubi, Brand Holtz here. Danny, Mad Dog, RGS, Bevo. Good to see you, Bevo. Ben's here as well. Batsy, B, Filios here. John, Darcy. Briggs is in the building. Samuel, Eric, Roble, City fan from Oz. Hopefully you guys are all doing well, man. Make sure you drop a like on the stream. Make sure you subscribe as well. And make sure you subscribe to Martin's channel, Mancunian Way, link in the description. Martin, you got a bit of tan as well there. Have you been on a sunbed? So what's going on here?
Yeah, just a little bit of sunbedding. You know what I mean?
How you doing, man? You good?
Yeah, good. Refreshed, relaxed, ready for the madness of the window.
Yeah, I mean, it's already started. The news is already starting to pop off. This one, I woke up this morning, went on my phone, and I'm like seeing everyone's leaving. We're signing loads of players. It's kind of crazy. Rob Dawson's been on a mad one this morning. Rob Dawson is a journalist who works at ESPN. He's been talking about like Bernardo. He's been speaking about the goalkeepers. We'll touch on as well. But do you think this season is going to be? Because for me personally, I think we're in for a big summer, man. I do. I think we're in for a big summer. I think that last year, I think that we kind of got away with it a little bit with some of the signings and that. You know, I mean, Doku Young's going to take him a bit of time. Kovacic is more of a sort of older player who can do a little bit here and there. We missed out on a lot of our main targets, you know, like Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice, etc. Paqueta because of the gambling thing as well. I think this year, we're going to have a big year, man. I think, I don't know who, because at the moment, like the links aren't really that great, but like Bruno, potentially. Maybe it could be Kimmich. I don't know. The winger one, though, and this is where I want to speak about. The winger one, for me, is very, very interesting because I personally, I've just put a tweet out. So I personally think that we need a winger that can get us GNA. And that can get us GNA on a sort of regular occurrence. Because if you look at where we've gone, yeah, over the years, we had Sane, who got us numbers. We had Sterling, who got us numbers. We had Mahrez that got us numbers. And this was only in the last 3-4 years, right? Now we've got Grealish, who doesn't give us any goals or assists. You've got Doku, who I think can give us goals or assists, but I think it could take him maybe a little bit more time because of the type of player he is. Bernardo, who doesn't really get you goals and assists, and might be leaving the football club. Well, what's your sort of take on the whole winger situation? Because Rob Dawson's tweeted this morning. Put out some news this morning in some of his work that saying there's a growing hope at Manchester City that Bernardo Silva might stay. Is this the right thing? And what's your sort of views on the winger, bro? Because I think we need one that can score goals and get some assists.
Personally, would I like a winger? Maybe. Do I think we'll get one other than Savio? No. Because that's why I got told Bernardo's likely to be staying now. Because the problem you've got is Bernardo's a release clause. He's 50 million up top. Who's got 50 million right now to drop instantly into Manchester City's account? It's the problem.
50 mil, bro. That's such a steal.
No, it is, but there's no installments. It's a straight 50. So that 50, because it's If they do it now, it's straight onto their books for this year. So if you're a club who's kind of like that on the FFP stuff, can you afford to drop 50 million onto your account straight away? If it was 10 million, 10 million, 10 million over 3 or 4 years, or 12.5 million, great, but it's 50 straight out.
Yeah, but do you not think City would, providing that they're happy with the replacement?
City ain't helping nobody. Then City have said it's straight 50.
Yeah, but what would Bernardo accept that though? If Bernardo Silva says, "Hang on a minute,
tough.
You've got a £50 million offer."
City have done them the favour. City have done them the favour. They wanted 80 last season.
Yeah,
they dropped all the way down to 50. Remember this? What Pep said? Well, we're not a charity. We've got to stop this giving our players away a bit.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I do understand. It's just
So I think that's what it's not that I think Bernardo wants to all of a sudden enjoy a bit of the Manchester rain. I think it's just he's in a position again.
Do you think it's the right time for him to leave though, Martin? Because I'm speaking to people on my WhatsApp, some of my mates. I'm seeing it on Twitter as well, and I sort of do get it to a certain degree. Are we at a point where do we think it's the right time for Bernardo Silva to leave? Because if we're being honest, I don't think this season was one of his best seasons. In a City shirt, to be honest with you, that's my opinion. Is now the right time to sort of move him on and get some young, fresh players in there?
For me, yeah, and I don't mean that in a.
Oh, okay. So in that case,
I hate him, by the way.
Okay, so let me just quickly ask you a point on that. So if you say yeah, you just said who's got 50 million to drop. So if a club said we'll pay the 50 mil, but it has to be over 3 years because no one's got 50 mil to drop, would you not say okay, that's fine? Because otherwise, you can't have your cake and eat it. You've just said it's the right time for him to leave.
Yeah.
But if no one can pay the 50 mil, then you're basically saying it's the right time for him to leave. But I'm not letting him leave. Because
that's the problem. That's the problem.
If someone said 50 mil over 3 years.
Maybe you do that. I mean, you're looking more, you're looking at what? 50, you're looking at about 18. But about 17 million out your season. So, I mean, for me, because I was looking at it last night, and I think what we've all done as fans is, I think we're going to be a bit careful with this. We've all gone down this road of, well, he's going. But not one of them is a first-team player. None of them are even in the squad. So we're not actually making room anywhere.
Why? Who are you talking about here?
What we're doing is we're basically clearing Deadwood out and making money.
Yeah.
We've not got this room to bring 4 or 5 superstars in because the rumours are Bernardo staying, Jack staying. They're both on 300 grand a week. And you said yourself how close we are wages-wise. We can't just drop another 300 grand a week player into the mix and nobody goes back out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but Bernardo Silva's not a squad player, is he? He's a first teamer.
No, that's what I mean. But that's what I don't think he's going to leave because of the release clause situation or the payment of it. Unless you're Real Madrid and coming in.
Yeah, I don't. Well, Real Madrid don't need any players in the attacking positions.
No, that's the thing. Jesus. I mean, the winger thing is very. It's a real funny one, the wingers. Yes, we all love a direct winger. Does Pep love a direct winger, though? The trouble is with Pep plays 3 systems in one season, so you never know what the hell he's going to frigging well do.
Yeah, I know. Well, the thing is, with the Bernardo Silva people keep on saying, we can't get rid of Bernardo because who will play right wing? Well, what about if he plays the same system that he's played this year, but swapped like he did in the original Anfield tactics? Because if you remember, this system that we've been playing, for the last part of the season with no right winger, no left winger, sorry, that effectively is a modification, is a development, is an evolution of the original Anfield tactics that we played when we played Cancelo right wing, right back, and we didn't have a right winger. Now, we didn't like it, but eventually it worked on the left-hand side. So people saying to me, well, hang on a minute, if we get rid of Bernardo, what's going to happen here? Well, hang on a minute. You don't know if we're going to change the system again. Something that I think everyone needs to understand and that I still struggle to get my head around is that the system that we see next year, right, in the final 3 months of the season, will probably be a different system to what we've just seen in the final 3 months of this season. Now, there's no guarantee. I'm not saying that 100% it will be. I'm saying probably. Probabilities that next season, the running. I'm not talking about the start of the season. I'm talking about the middle part of the season because that's where he's just fucking doing loads of random shit. I'm talking about the end of the season. There is a possibility, a probability, I would say, that it will be different. And he might not play a right winger. Do you know what I mean? Because I think at the moment, I'm looking at this situation, right? And I'm confused. And I'll tell you why I'm confused, yeah? Is because if Bernardo Silva leaves, if you look at our winger options, you got Jack Grealish, who apparently can only play left wing. You've got Jeremy.
Think he'll be a winger.
Exactly. Well, listen, you got Jeremy Doku, who apparently is crap on the right, which is just he's not even been given a chance on the right. I've seen people tweeting on a tweet I seen yesterday saying Jeremy Doku hasn't performed well on the right. I went on his transfer market data. He's played about 4 proper games there. You know what I mean? So he's not had a shot at it, right? You've got Savio, who predominantly plays on the left. He can play on the right. Yeah, he can. But if you look at his again, the data tells me that he's a left winger. You got Oscar Bob, who can probably play left or right, but again, he's sort of like we're still looking to see what's going on there. So this is why I'm confused, because we could potentially be sat in a situation where you've got Jack Grealish, Doku, and Savio, who are all predominantly left wingers, and not have anyone really on the right. And I'm just sort of like, this is for me where I'm like, Bernardo Silva this year, yeah, I don't think he was particularly great this year. I think if he was to rank his personal City seasons in order, this would be towards the bottom. But I hear people say it's time for him to leave, like you just said, and I'm like, well, that's all well and good, bro, but you got to get a replacement in, because even if we don't play a right winger next year, what about if we do? What about if we do play a right winger and we don't have one? Are you sticking Doku out on there? And maybe he isn't good on the right because people keep on telling me he's not good on the right wing. So I'm just like, this is a big summer. This is a big, big summer for City. We've got to get it right. And if you lose a player like Bernardo, you can't be making the same decision that we made last summer, which was lose Mahrez, an experienced player who gets GNA, and replace him with Doku, who's a young player that's going to need development, or lose someone like İlkay Gundogan, the best German that's ever played in the league, and replace him with Kovacic, who's more of a sort of chilled out guy. He's not going to get you the GNA, and he can't play 6 because Pep doesn't clearly like him there. So I just think that if you do lose a player, let's cut a long story short, if you lose a player like Bernardo, who's a big game player, an experienced player, you've got to get someone who can fill his boots. And that's why I think it's a bit disappointing that we didn't get Paqueta, because I think Paqueta could have done that to a certain degree. I think we've got to go big this summer. I've said it for a while. I think this summer has to be a big summer, bro.
I totally agree. The problem is you've got somebody has to leave. When I was saying big summer, I expected 1 or 2 out the door.
Yeah.
Those 1 or 2 are not going out the door anymore. So the problem is you're just putting yourself back into that situation. And if it is Pep's last season, why would Pep do that?
Mm-hmm.
But why would you overload into players that the new manager might not want?
Well,
and the thing is, it isn't just Pep going. We're going at boardroom level as well. So this is the problem. It's not just a swap in, swap out situation. It's going to be a very changeable situation.
Mm-hmm.
So do we go and drop, for example, 100 million on a player, and then we go up now and not in that?
Yeah.
It's so, it was why I was so upset with Jack Garn, because it was the word. I mean, I already knew, but the problem was Jack Garn should not have dropped that at the time he did. He threw everything out the loop. It was not good. It's not something that should be out there. It's basically everything that Liverpool and Klopp did.
Mm-hmm.
Why I hated that one, because the minute it goes public, everything goes into the bin.
Yeah.
Because all you do then is put everyone into uncertainty situations.
Yeah, but were we not in that situation already? I mean, everyone knew he's only got a year left on the deal.
No,
I mean,
because it was still
don't get me wrong, the timing. I didn't like the timing of it, right? Yeah, because obviously he dropped it like when the parade is on, and that for me is like really did you have to do that? But I don't buy the whole now it's uncertainty because it's uncertain anyway. He's only got a year left on the deal. As it stands, Jack tweets or not, he is leaving at the end of next season. That's a fact because he's out of contract.
I just think there was that little bit of, well, he could do, and he's kind of now. It was sort of for me 60-40, maybe a bit of 50-50. There was that chance, but it just sounds like there's no chance now, and that's it. And so that's, to me, is why I didn't like it. I thought it was a bit unprofessional. And how do you sell a dream to a player? How do you don't know who they're playing for? You don't know anything moving forward.
Yeah, but you got to back the club. You can't just be like, we did sign players before Pep Guardiola, bro.
It's not just Pep going LB. The rumours Soriano and Cheeky going out with him.
Well, we signed fucking Robinho with Gary Cook.
He's bloody Karl doing the negotiation moving forward.
Yeah, but the thing is, for me, but Martin, I have a little bit more faith in when these guys go. I'm not an idiot. I know there'll be a dip, right? But like, I believe that we'll still be able to negotiate players and stuff. I'm not someone who's like, oh, as soon as Pep and Tiki goes, it's bust. You might as well resign. Like, it's finished. Like, I believe that like there's still going to be something there. Do you know what I'm saying? And I believe we're going to get the best in class. You think Sheikh Mansour and Khaldoon after Tiki and Pep go, that was a good 10 years, lads. Right, let's just farm some top fours and maybe the odd Carabao Cup. No, this is not how these guys work. They're going to go out there and they're going to say, right, they've probably already scouted it, mate. They've probably already looked at it and gone, right, when Tiki and Pep go, this is the man. Or maybe not, manager's a little bit more difficult, but the in terms of the sporting director and that, they've probably already got their eyes on it. They probably already spoke to him and like, right, Tiki's going in the year, you're the guy. Yeah, I mean, they've probably already done that because these guys want best in class. They don't just settle for second best. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really have a problem with it like that. But listen, let me come to some of these. Go on,
man. Obviously, the team chat, I was going to ask you, who do you think, because I've got the squad in front of me, he's actually potentially could go to make the room? Or do you think we don't need to let anyone go?
You're my honest opinion, who's going, yeah? I'll tell you who's going. One of the goalkeepers is going.
Yeah.
Don't know who, but one of them's going to go. Yeah.
I'll tell you, I think it's Ortega.
Yeah, I think it'll be Ortega. I think City will give the cash to Ederson and be like, don't worry, bro.
Yeah.
We've seen the light in the FA Cup final. So Ortega will probably go and we'll buy a backup. You know who I'd go for?
Go on.
Well, I don't know if I would go for him, but like, bit of a gamble, but it's this ain't going to go down with the chat. I know it isn't. I'd maybe consider going back in for Trafford and seeing if he wants to be a number 2.
What, and then sell him on to Newcastle as part of the Bruno deal?
Maybe. I don't know. I think number 2 is difficult. I think you got to make sure you can get someone who can kick a ball. But that's a little bit of a gamble. That I know that's probably not a good idea. Right. Kyle Walker's staying 100%. Yeah, in fact, I'm not 100% on that Trafford deal. It's just a thought. It's just a suggestion. Don't cook me too bad. I've had 2 days. I've had 2 days off, man.
Someone's put Saturn's dream off. You dead?
Right. Okay. So I'm looking at. Yeah. Let me get this on screen here. We can show you. Yeah. So Walker's staying. Yeah. Let's just have it right. He ain't going nowhere. Anyone suggesting that Ruben Diaz needs to be sold? Give your head a wobble. Give your head a wobble. Because, listen, let me tell you something, yeah? This season wasn't particularly good, yeah? I think it was probably his worst season since he's been here. But you want to sell him now that he's getting better. Why would you not have this energy in January then when he was poor? He was poor the first bit of the season. Why didn't you say, oh, sell him in January, get rid of him? No one spoke about Diaz when he was actually bad in the beginning part of the season. Probably because he gets kind of protected. And then towards the end of the season, when he actually started putting in decent performances, the guy's been getting stick. You do not sell Ruben Diaz, man. That is what I think what Ruben Diaz actually needs, though. He needs some stability at the back. I think I'm not sure, because he's more old school. He's a more old school type of defender. I think he needs some stability. So you're not selling him. I am not selling Stones because I don't see
selling Stones.
I don't sell Stones. You'd be ridiculous to sell Nathan Ake.
Yeah, so none of that top 4 are going.
No, Akanji, no. Listen, Rico Lewis might get a loan or something. I think it's. I want to see him succeed, but I'm not sure on the game time or whatever. Gvardiol, obviously not, right? So defense, I'm kind of chill with my defense. Whether or not you want Walker to stay, that's a personal decision. I don't think he's going to leave. I think, especially based on the comments that he's made. Maybe if he gets a mad offer from Saudi, I think Saudis are speaking to him. Maybe he might do it, but I doubt it. Okay, midfield, right? Jack Grealish. I think if an offer came in, City would consider it, but the offer's not going to come in because who's going to pay money? Yeah, serious money for Jack Grealish. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. No one's paying 60, 70 million for Grealish. Just like no one paid 80 million pounds for Bernardo Silva. Why? Because I've told you before, football is all about G&A these days. The reason why Bernardo Silva didn't get sold last year, for 80 million, is because when someone at another club was looking at him saying, oh, should we sign this off for 80 million? It's a big transfer. They'll look at him and go, well, hang on a minute. He gets about 15 G&A a year. People don't recognize and people don't value other stuff from attacking players other than G&A. That's the truth. You're not going to get more than 55, 60 million for Grealish. I'd be shocked if you did. And then who's going to pay his 300 grand a week wages? Is someone going to pay it?
I told Grealish was not going anywhere.
So he's not getting sold. Rodri's not getting sold. I think De Bruyne will do one more year. I think he'll do one more year and then go. Bernardo Silva,
at the moment, staying.
The question is, who's going to sign him? Apparently, PSG have ruled themselves out. Barca apparently have no money. Where's he going to go?
Hang on, Barca can't even register Hansi Flick and his bloody staff.
So where's he going?
So that's what I mean. This is why he's not going.
I've told you time and time again, Bernardo Silva, just tell the guy
we're going to end up losing on a free.
Well, yeah, so here we go. So here we get to the main players, yeah? He's gone. Gomez.
I'm sorry, did you say main players?
Yeah, but he's gone, mate. Yeah, see you later. Kovacic, I'd keep.
Yeah.
Nunes, I'd get rid of.
I don't think they will, unless they get the money in.
I think they get the money in.
Signed a 6-year deal.
Yeah, contracts, bro. Contracts these days.
No, it's not just contracts, it's money.
I don't think he's on that much, though, is he?
No, it's the money we paid to Wolves.
No, but I think, though, personally, I think, like, it wouldn't surprise me if we got Bruno and Nunes went Newcastle. Would not surprise me in the slightest. Would not surprise me in the slightest if we got Bruno and Nunes went to Newcastle.
We'll see. I don't. The Bruno thing keeps changing day in, day out because the Newcastle fans are believing everything he says, the same way Villa fans believe what Jack Grealish said. Until somebody puts in that money, and by the way, it's not 100 million, no mad, and it's paid over 3 payments, not all in one lump. It's about, City going to go in at 85 to 90 on Bruno.
So who's leaving then? Because I've just gone through the squad, and
you've got room to add 1 or 2. It's when people were talking about revamp 3, 4, and 5s coming in. We're not going to do it. We can add 1 or 2. 100%.
I just don't see Nunes staying. I'd be surprised if he stays. I would.
No. If City get an offer for Nunes from a Saudi club or somewhere else, and it's 50 million, they'll take it. 100%.
Right. So what areas then would you want to bring players in? Because for me, you need a midfielder. So that means Rico Lewis has probably got to leave, whether it be loan or permanent, because he's just not going to get any game time. If you bring in another midfielder, you keep Nunes because people want to keep Nunes, who's a midfielder, and you keep Kovacic, and you've still got Foden and De Bruyne. You're going to have to let Rico go, as sad as it might be.
What'd you do with Bob?
Well, Bob, I want to give Bob a chance next season.
I was straight with you. I think Jack Grealish is moving into the midfield next season.
I just, why? What makes you say that?
Because I honestly think, I'm the opposite to you. I think Doku will be on the right and it'll be Sarri on the left. And KD.
No, I'm chill with that, by the way.
I'll be straight with you. I can see Jack Grealish going into that 8-10 role and KDB coming in for the big games.
just think that, like, would we not have seen it a little bit more? Like, if Pep had this in the back of his
No,
mind.
because I think plans have changed. I think the club thought Bernardo was going.
So we're not signing a midfielder?
No, I think we will, but we're going to sign one, not the two.
And that midfielder would have to be, I guess, what, an actual just DM?
An 8/6, which is your Bruno. Or João Neves, or whoever. The thing is, you got to remember is, this is what I said, it wasn't about Bernardo Silva like-for-like replacement.
Yeah.
Paqueta could play off the right. Same way Bernardo could. Could play in the 8 role the same way Bernardo could. We're not... People are doing this FIFA stuff that we're bringing in all these players and we're never doing it. It's like Frimpong. Frimpong, I've still got an interest in, but A, he's on holiday, and B, we can't do anything until Yankutu pisses off. It's like you just said, you've got Yankutu, Rico, who's probably going to be used more as a midfielder, like you said, moving forward. You've got Akanji who can go right back, Stones who can go right back. We're going to end up with so many right backs or people who can play right back. It's unreal.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just think that, like, you got to assess the situation. Pep has his favourites, yeah, and I just think that, like, if a player clearly isn't trusted properly, then get rid and get someone that is. You know,
listen, people think the Grealish thing is madness, but the amount of times Pep's changed the player. Did you ever think Bernardo Silva would play left back?
Yeah, but that's for 1 game, 2 games, wasn't it?
Mateus Nunes is not looked upon as a midfielder at the moment.
Well, what is he looked upon as, bro?
You look a lot of the time.
What, as a player for this team, or what?
Whereas Nunes played generally when he's played on, he's generally out wide.
Yeah, probably because Pep don't trust him in the middle of the pitch with the ball. No, that's the truth. No, that's the truth. That's the truth. I think that is the genuine truth. I think for me, the reason why Nunes is maybe played out a bit more wider than in the central areas is because, like one of the games towards the end of the season, when he had the ball in the middle of the pitch, he lost the ball and they scored. I don't think he's trusted in the middle properly. That's why when he comes on, he's mainly on the wing areas, just like he actually did when he played in the Club World Cup, and he played on the wing areas more. And by the way, I thought he played all right on the wing areas. But I'm saying the facts are the facts. Like,
he got 5 assists, by the way, from them areas.
Bro, listen, I've said it all season long. Nunes is not a bad footballer. No. He's a good footballer. The question you've got to ask is, would he fit the team? Does he? Because that's what you're talking about. You can go through and find some goats, yeah, some insane football players over the years. They probably don't fit us, yeah. Like some of them who maybe rely on more counter-attacking style, right? So if you look at the counter-attacking players of the world, the best counter-attacking players, I don't know, chat will know a name. Put them into City. Well, we don't fucking counter-attack, mate. So they're not going to do anything. So, you got to find the right balance. You got to find a player that can fit into the squad, fit into the way the system is played. Otherwise, they're not going to be good enough. And that's the thing that I've struggled for with Nunes. That's my opinion. Now, someone said playing right back. All right, give him a go there.
No, I think you could play him right wing back, not right back. Play him as a right wing back, not as a right back, straight right back. It's going to be, listen, some are going to be very disappointed with this summer. Some will love this summer.
So are you saying that it's not going to be a big summer? Because I think it's going to be a big summer. I think they're going to see at least...
I don't think it's going to be as big as people are thinking now.
I think 3 players are going to leave. I think Nunes could and maybe should leave. I think Rico might leave on loan. And then I think there's going to... And Ortega. And then maybe one more. But
who would you bring in?
So I bring obviously a goalkeeper, backup goalkeeper. Don't know who. Yeah, don't know who. Walker's staying. I probably chill on the right back and have a Kanji and Stones as my right backs. And obviously have Walker. And if you do have Rico still, if you want to play him and push him in.
You just took him out alone.
No. If he stays, not if he stays. Like, I think he'll probably be loaned out, right? Because I think he needs to play.
Yeah.
Nunes for me, I'd sell Nunes.
Remember, Nunes doesn't play. You just said that earlier.
Yeah, but he should play.
So who's coming in to do the Núñez role?
I'd bring in Bruno.
So you want Bruno to play 5 games a season?
Nope. How many minutes? You can't do it on games. You got to do it on minutes played.
But you look at Núñez's minutes, less than 1,000.
Yeah, 700.
Bruno on less than 1,000.
How many minutes has Rodri got? Over 4,000.
Yeah, but by the way, you're keeping Kovacic as well now.
Yeah, but Kovacic is 30, mate. You know what I mean? He's chilling. He can come in and be a squad rotational player. So basically, I'm looking at reducing Rodri's minutes by about 600 to 700.
So we're reducing Rodri's and KDB's.
KDB has to be reduced. It has to be reduced.
No, I'm not saying I don't agree, but at least what I just said. KDB reduces minutes, Rodri reduces minutes. That's 2 big components out of our first 11 right now.
Well, KDB straight away doesn't play any dead Carabao Cup games, any dead FA Cup games, any dead Champions League games.
Anyway.
No.
KDB never played League Cup.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. So that straight away, can go to Kovacic or it can go to Bruno. Yeah, and Rodri, again, same with him. Yeah, get him gone for these crappy Carabao Cup, FA Cup games, that doesn't matter, and put Bruno in for them. Yeah. Premier League games where you're 3-0 up, you can then take off Rodri. Remember, how many times did we sub off Rodri this season? How many times did we sub him off?
I don't have a lot now.
You got to reduce his minutes. You're going to kill him. Yeah, you cannot keep playing Rodri for the amount of games that he's been playing. You've got to understand, mate, playing 60, 70 games a season as a midfielder, especially the high-intensity role, you cannot do it. And let me just address this, Photon. I ain't saying this, bro. I'm not saying this. I'm saying rotation. Sometimes, I'm not saying Bruno's not going to come to sit on the bench in my system. That doesn't mean he'll never be on the bench. But he's not just going to sit there the whole season. For me, I'm looking at one game. You could play Rodri and Bruno as a double pivot, and Bruno can go forward, and you can play either Foden or KDB. Yeah, you can rest them. There's this thing that, like, I feel like with sometimes if you sign a player, you have a mint player, and they're on the bench. That's just it. It's just over. Like, no. Sometimes you got to have a player on the bench. Sometimes Foden's going to be dropped, and he'll be on the bench.
I totally agree.
KDB's going to get injured next season at some point. Let's be honest. He'll be out for at least a month or 2 months. Let's just accept that's going to happen.
No, what I've always known is certain games they won't accept being on the bench
for. Who won't accept that?
KDB's not going to accept being on the bench of Real Madrid, Liverpool, Arsenal. Bruno ain't going to accept. He's
not. Yeah, but KDB's.
This is where we're going to be careful of it,
bro. But he's not going to be on the bench for every single one of those games.
No, he wants to play every single one of them games.
Well, tell him then, sorry, mate, you're not bigger than the club.
He's on 400 grand a week.
It doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter, though. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you've got a fixture...
And then if we lose, you'll all moan about no creativity.
Well, how do you know we're not getting creativity? Bruno can create. Foden can create.
Oh, yeah, Bruno runs and tackles. You don't create.
Bruno can get G&A. Bruno can get a bit...
Look at his G&A's Bernardo Silva levels.
Bruno...
Go on, remember, you're telling me bro, 20 GA here.
No, but listen, he's not the main creative outlet, is he? Foden would be.
No, but you've just benched the main one.
He got 17 last year. He got 17 GNA.
How many goals?
7.
Right, that's Bernardo level. That's what I said, Bernardo Silva levels.
Yeah, but like, he's not the main creative player in the team. It's an upgrade on Kovacic, I'll tell you that. You want to compare him to Mateo Kovacic, who's been doing that position all season. How many goals did Kovacic get this year?
This is what I said. Nobody's ever going to be happy because you're going to get some players here, some there, and everything else.
All right, I'll tell you what we'll do then, yeah? I'll tell you what we'll do in this situation. We'll have Rodri as the main DM. We'll have Foden and Kevin De Bruyne, and we'll have no one else because we can't bench anyone ever. Because if you bench someone, then all of a sudden, it's like they're going to be kicking off. You've got to have the balls to say, sorry, mate, we've got a squad and you're not in the squad.
Yeah, no, right. Let me explain myself because people are not understanding this point. KDB is the highest earner at Manchester City Football Club. Right or wrong?
No, you're legit. I think you're legit.
He's probably the one, he's a talisman just behind Haaland, shirt sales, etc., etc. Yes, there is playing less minutes, But what I think you'll actually find, this is just my opinion, I think you're going to get 60 minutes in games out of him. Then he comes off.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big difference playing him in a 50, 60-minute game and then benching him.
Right.
Yes, you can bench him. Give me a team. Sound really disrespectful here, and I hate doing this. Ipswich. Yeah. I feel shit when I say things like that. It sounds arrogant. But you can bench him against Ipswich. But when you're playing Villa or someone like that, 60 minutes of it and then play. And you've got to keep going on like that. I fully accept this is probably his last year. But you've also got to get things ready. I would have liked to have done what you said, bringing his replacement a year earlier and let him learn under that role. That looks like that might not happen. Because I think the replacement will come in the same year KDB goes out. Which is a bit sad because I would love to have got that experience where we learn it and everything else. And then so you've got KDB on 6 there. You could do that. By the way, you've got to have to do this position with Haaland or Alvarez at some point.
Well, that has already been done this year.
Yeah. But Alvarez only played because KDB was injured.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But ultimately, Alvarez still gets dropped when Haaland and everyone else is fit.
There's no coincidence that every time we do this, we've got to be a bit careful how we do it.
For me, bro, you can't have a player no player in this team should be guaranteed a place in the team.
No, they shouldn't.
Even Kevin De Bruyne, who in my opinion is the best player that's ever played for this club, even him, no one, in my opinion, has the right to play. Kevin De Bruyne is 33. He's clearly, evidently, gone back a little bit in terms of his physicality and his physical presence. He's clearly not as fast as he used to be. He's clearly not as agile as he used to be. And if you don't believe that, then you don't want to accept the truth, So to me, I'm sitting down with KDB and saying, listen, you are my man. If I'm in a Champions League final, unless you've been dropping stinkers, you're playing, bro. But I have to be able to trust my other players in games where I think you need a rest or there's a more important game or that tactically something else is better for me. Yeah, like when he played Docker in midfield against Newcastle. That's a madness. Right. So for me, you've got to have that conversation with Kev. And at the end of the day, if he doesn't accept that, you have to let him leave, as bad as that sounds, because you cannot have players in the squad, whether it's KDB, whether it's Ortega, whether it's Alvarez, who make demands. Because who does everyone in this chat, who you all been cussing all season because you reckon he's been making demands? Who was it? Kyle Walker. He's only playing because Pep guaranteed him a start. Well, look how that went, mate. Everyone's been slagging him off all season, saying he's only playing because Pep Guardiola promised him to be starting every game because he stopped him from going Bayern Munich. And look how that went. So you cannot have players in a squad that get guaranteed game time. Yeah? You just can't. You've got to go off the here and now, the form, how a person's playing, their attitude to the games. And I don't believe having players, if you brought in Bruno, and you had Rodri, Bruno, KDB, Foden as your sort of main four, you still have your Kovacic's and that there'd be a massive issue there. Because remember, that's only, how many is that? You got Rodri, Bruno, Foden, KDB as your main ones, right? That's four. Right? I'm right there, innit? Because Kovacic, like, not being funny, no one's really that arsed if Kovacic is upset, and no one's that arsed if Nunes is upset, clearly. That's just the truth, Let's just cut the crap here.
Do you know what I mean? We're not asking to upset.
No, but like, everyone gets asked about KDB because he's a legend. No one's going to be that upset. If Kovacic says, I want to be played, no one's going to be saying, that we're gutted about that. So worst case scenario, one of them is going to be pissed off they're not playing. One of them, Now, hang on a minute. KDB, he keeps on getting injuries. So if he is injured, then all three of them are going to be playing anyway. Do you get me? Like, I just think that for me, this mad. How many games are going to be next year? 75, someone said? 75 games next year if you get to quarterfinals. There's plenty of minutes to go around. Plenty of minutes. And I just don't see it as a problem. I really, really don't. Now, if you keep Nunes and you keep Kovacic, then clearly Kovacic's numbers are going to go down for next season because you got Bruno there. KDB's fit for the full season. He's not got an injury that keeps him out for half of the season. So his minutes are going to take a decrease. But Kovacic knew that anyway when he signed. Because remember, when we was trying to sign Kovacic, we were trying to sign Bellingham. and Rice and Paqueta. The guy's not dumb. He's a very clever guy. You know what I mean? He knew that he was coming in as sort of like more of a rotational thing. I don't think Pep Guardiola, when he signed Kovacic, went, yeah, you're going to be my main man every single game you're going to be playing. No, did he balls, man? He said, you're going to come in, you're going to be part of a squad. Now, his minutes are going to take a decline. I still think he'll be a big part of the team because I think Pep really rates him. But again, the problem is if you have Bruno and you have Rodri, you have Foden, you have KDB, and you have Kovacic, where is Nunez's minutes going to come from? It's not coming in the midfield.
Well, let me ask. So we do the hypothetical. How many games are we talking that KDB gets benched for or comes out for?
I'm not talking about in terms of games. I'm looking at minutes.
Oh, like minutes then.
But do you want me to bring up the squad minutes for this year?
No, got it. Because the point I'm making is, everyone's saying this about KDB. He got 10 assists and 4 goals last season in the Premier League.
Yeah.
On 1,200 minutes.
Crazy.
Without that, we don't win the league.
Yeah.
So this is what I mean. We've got to be careful on the balancing act. This, get rid, don't play minimal, do this, can't be doing this. Doesn't work like that until others say, step up. Then Bernardo Silva's got to step up with more assists. Jack Grealish has got to step up with more assists. Because people won't like this, but we're a little bit reliant again on KDB for assists in certain games.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, 100%.
So it's not as easy to just bang it straight out. Yes, I think you get away with probably the League Cup games, the occasional FA Cup, depending on how I wants to do it, probably the group stages. But I think he'll play the first 2 or 3 games of the group stages, get quality or whatever it is, 5 games. I don't even know what that bloody format is anymore. Get that qualified and then rest him down. I don't know. He's
right, yeah. Let's have a look at this then, right? So this is this season's fixtures, yeah?
Yeah.
So like Kevin De Bruyne, for example, yeah? Like, so let's have a look at some Champions League. When does Champions League start there? There you go, Champions League, yeah? So you got Champions League, right? So you play 6, this is the 16th, right? 16th. And then you play the Champions League game. Then that's match day 1, right? Red Star. And then you play Forest. So clearly, if this happened again next season, you can't play KDB against West Ham, Red Star, Forest. We all agree with that, yeah? You can't play in 3 games in what, 7 days? You can't do that. So you pick. You go, okay. And this is down to the manager, by the way. It's not down to, we can all have our own opinions, but this is down to the manager. So you look at it and go, okay, my options are, I could play Kevin De Bruyne against West Ham in the Premier League, rest him against Red Star, because we don't need him against Red Star, yeah, evidently. And then we can play him against Forest. And then you say to Kev, I can play you in all 3 of them if you want, but you'll probably get injured. And if you don't get injured, you'll be so knackered that your standards will probably drop. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to focus on playing the Premier League games, yeah? And I'll play Foden, who's a bit fresher. And yeah, maybe Foden, you can take Foden off with 30 minutes to go in the Prem games to get him a bit fresher. He's younger, so he's able to deal with it. Yeah, maybe you could throw on a Rico for the last 30 minutes in one of those games as well. Or you could look at it and go, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to play you against, West Ham, and then I'm going to play you against Red Star in the Champions League, and then I'm going to give you a rest for the Forest game. But then you're resting him in a Premier League game, which could have implications for your whole Premier League season, because it's, you could lose against Red Star and still qualify. It's not an issue, but you lose against Forest, and by the end of the season, that could be a big difference. You've got to manage his minutes. You have to. And at the end of the day, he understands that. He's not an idiot.
No, I agree. But he didn't play shitloads of minutes last year when you look at the minutes.
No, he didn't. But is that not just because he missed half the season?
We already started this decline of KDB, or not decline, this slowing him down. Fans wanted to slow him down even more. Well, this is my point is, LB, we start slowing him down even more. He's going to be just benched all the time. Look at his minutes. Go on KDB and look at the minutes. He played 6 minutes against Bournemouth away.
Yeah, but that's
6 minutes.
Yeah, no, but okay. So
21 against Everton. This is what I mean. We've already gone into that.
No,
so
but
how
we're not.
Down are we going back with him?
For me, right? Okay, let me bring up some minutes then. Right, so these are his minutes. Yeah. Okay, so there's still quite a lot of like big minutes here, yeah. On the right hand side, you can see there's still quite a lot of big minutes.
We're talking like he's Oscar Bobby.
No, we're not. I'm not necessarily even speaking. I am speaking about the minutes, but I'm not necessarily even just speaking about the minutes. I'm talking about the fact that you might have to, in certain games, take him out, like we did at Villa. You got to accept that. I mean, by the way, bro, we did go the first half of the season without this guy, and we was doing all right.
No, I agree. I'm not saying I think we've got to. The point is, I think we've already started the pulling the minutes back from him.
Maybe we
I
have.
think it's already began.
No, I agree. For me, it's not even just taking him off after 80 minutes, 90 minutes or whatever. It's about the fact that you can't play him 3 games in a week.
No, so Pep has to change his system or go with Jack Grealish in that role.
Or you do what he's done quite a lot this season and just play Foden with Bruno and Rodri.
Yeah. No, so I mean, you'd have to change the system. You can't go with his 2 tens.
No, exactly. No, exactly. And if you remember...
Or you go with your 2. We don't know. See, this is the thing. We don't... The annoying thing is, we don't know what's going to happen with Savio Fuller. Because Savio's even come out and said, I've got a meeting with my agent.
Yeah, he has no idea, yeah.
Even he doesn't have any idea what the frig's going on.
Yeah. No, I know. Right, let me come to these super chats, Martin, bro.
I don't know where you go with it.
Let me come to these super chats, man. They've been waiting for ages, man. Sorry about the delay, guys. The convo was just flowing, man. Big up Sign says, I manifested this Rodrygo rumor. We will speak about Rodrygo next, man, because we've not really spoke about him. But yeah, he has been linked and he's been twerking for City. Big up Signs. Big up to Sanji says, read the Jose Felix Diaz master article on Rodrygo. I think I've seen the headline, bro, but I will go on it and check it out. I did see an article where they were slagging him off. Is my dad a 9 months? Said, I think we need a constant threat from wide. Agreed. We struggle a lot when teams just pat the middle, and we had to rely on Bernardo Guimaraes. Facts. This is what we're saying at the start of the show, bro, isn't it? We have to get players who can have goals from the wide areas. And the only and if you look at the United game, for example, perfect example. Yeah, we've seen it after 5 minutes. This is why after 10 minutes in my watch along, I was like, sub Doku on. And people in the chat was like, you can't sub Doku on after 10 minutes. So why not? Why can't you sub Doku on? If you can see that there's clearly a problem, and the problem is the only space we was getting was the wide areas, and the only wide players we had was Bernardo and Gavardio, who don't really create or get too many goals. Sub someone after 20 minutes. So you're fact, we need wide threat. We do. Bill Darcy, who says no concrete targets yet, is interesting. I don't know what will happen this summer. Rodrygo definitely not coming, and I don't know if Bruno G for 100 mil is going to happen, considering Arsenal also want him badly, says Darcy. Well, there's only a few that we can go for. Him, João Neves, Kimmich, for me, are the main 3. And Bruno's got Prem experience. So it's a lot of money, granted. I know he's not for everyone, and there's a lot of City fans that don't really want him. But it will be. It is interesting. It is interesting, as you say, bro. Stones is now dead wood, unfortunately. We need a centre-back. I would say he's dead wood, but you have to go into the season expecting him not to be available, which is kind of annoying. But at the same time, bro, who's going to buy him? You're only going to sell him on the cheap because no one's going to spend 50 million on him. Who's spending 50 million on him? When he's
spend 80 to 85 million on getting Branthwaite out of Everton.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, man. So for me, you just got to keep him and just hope he stays fit. But you've got to go into the season expecting him not to be fit. That's the position. Bill to Bevel says, love to see Bernardo stay, but something has to change. This constant, is he staying or is he leaving every single summer? It's boring now. Either stay or go. It is boring. I agree.
If he doesn't go this summer, I think he goes on a free.
Yeah, exactly. I've said this for time. I said, bro, put him on a big cash, which he might already be on, and just say, listen, when you're 32, Benfica will let you go on a free. I've said this.
You know, he's on it. He's on 3. He got put on 300 grand a week last summer.
Right. Well, in that case, then let him go Benfica in 2 years on a free transfer. And just be like, we will literally let you leave on a free transfer. He's probably still 32. He's probably still worth 40 million. We'll let him leave on a free because the benefit of what we've had when we shouldn't really have had him because normally he would have left.
So we'll let KDB go on a free. Bloody hell, we've become charity FC here. Bollocks.
I don't think he'll be going on free. I think he'll sign a 1-year deal, and I think next year he'll be sold.
We have got FFP, you know, we have to get back in. Can't allow everyone out for free.
Well, but the problem is, Bernardo, no one wants to buy the guy anyway. So, you know, the way it's going, he's probably going to end up going on a free because no one wants to pay the 50 mil.
But then everyone goes, why are we not spending 300 million? Because we keep letting everyone out for free.
Big up to,
we've got all these other players we can sell.
I know. Big up to Dr. 40 says, sell Bernardo, Bob, sink or swim season, full send. I would like to see Bob get thrown into the deep end a lot more next year. I think he deserves that opportunity based off what he done this year in the small amount of minutes that he got. But I think he understands the Pep system, keeps the ball well. And yeah, sometimes you just have to throw him in and see how he gets on. So yeah, I'm hopeful that in pre-season and in some of these early Premier League games, what you can't judge him off. You can't judge him off when he comes on when we're 3-0 up. Yeah, because that happened to Palmer. And what people need to understand is when we're 3-0 up and you throw a player on, people go, oh, go on, do something mint. But if the whole team has took the foot off the gas, you can't do it on your own. They're not messy, you know what I mean? So you can only judge them when they're in the team from the start, in my opinion. That for me is when you can judge. Why will top players come with the uncertainty? Well, to be honest with you, I've already said I think it's wrong that Tiki's going to leave at the same time as Pep. I don't think he should be doing that, personally. I think he should stay for at least one season after Pep leaves. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I think that's wrong, personally. I don't think Tiki should leave at the same time as Pep. I think he should stay for another year. You know, they're not here as busy mates. You know what I mean? They're here to do a professional job. Is it professional for Tiki to leave at the same time as Pep? In my opinion, it's not. I think he has a responsibility. It's my opinion. You can disagree. My opinion is that he has a responsibility to stay for at least one more year and oversee that transition. I think it puts a lot of pressure on the new manager anyway because you're replacing Pep, and then to have a sporting director replaced at the same time. Now, some people will say actually, it might be a good thing. You know, you get some fresh sporting director, fresh manager. They can come in and build a relationship. Maybe. I think he should stay. Dr. 40 says, Kyle's happy for United players. Get him out. That was a strange interview. Strange interview. I don't know why he's saying that. Stones needs to go, LB. He's way too unreliable. The problem is, bro, if you're going to sell him, who's going to pay any decent money for him? No one's paying any decent money for him because he's always unreliable, as you say. So for me, rather than selling him for 20 million, 30 million, which you're probably going to have to sell him for because no one's going to pay big cash for him because he's always unfit, you're better off just sticking with him and fingers crossed he'll stay fit. But that's what I'm saying. He is unreliable. So you have to plan for the season that he's not going to be available. You've got to plan for that.
What's happening with Calvin Phillips now? So we can't get rid.
Yeah, exactly. If Calvin Phillips,
$150,000 a week and no bugger wants to pay that.
Of course. Yeah, exactly. So you're going to have to cover some of the wages, 100%.
John Stones is on $250,000 a week, by the way. Who's covering that?
Yeah, exactly. No one's covering it, man. So you're going to have to stick with him.
What I keep saying, it's not... and then we can't just keep bringing in players on $300,000 a week. Otherwise, we will end up failing FFP officially.
Exactly. Chicken Wing says, I don't get the Nunes hate. You can't blame him for not playing, but Pep, what's up, LB? I don't hate him, bro. I'm actually genuinely don't hate him at all. I genuinely don't hate him at all. I think he's a really good player. I've said this, and I've said it again, and it's probably getting boring. I just don't think he suits the system. Now, if you want to try playing him right back and seeing if it works, fine, no problem. But he ain't going to play in the middle regularly. Unless he changes the system to where maybe you've got three like more defensive style midfielders, which you're not going to do because we play low blocks all the time. And therefore, if you did play that, you'd have to cover if you lost it. I just don't think so. I like him, like a good player. Said this since we signed him. But for me, he was a panic buy. No, you disagree. He was a panic buy in my opinion, and I don't think he suits the team. I want to be wrong because I actually like this guy as a player. Like with Phillips, I never really rated the guy, yeah? Never really rated Calvin Phillips. Never really wanted him at City. With Nunes, I actually like him. I actually think he's a good player. I've said it before. I actually think he should have probably joined Liverpool. I think they would have been a better style fit for him. I ain't going to say that if he's not a good player. Liverpool, good team. I just don't see how he fits in. Give him right back, play him left wing, whatever. But yeah, I just don't think he's playing in the middle.
See, it's like Cancelo's another one. Cancelo's on $250,000 a week because he signed that bloody contract and then kicked off 6 months later.
Yeah.
So I don't know what. I was just looking at the wages then. Some of the wages we're paying out is mad.
Yeah. We need to get that under control.
It's mad.
Why
we're talking 5-6 year deals here.
Yeah. No. And
This is
players
why we
like
can't get rid
players
of
like
them.
Edison, by the way, players like
100
Edison,
grand.
yeah, players like Edison, not even in the top 12 highest paid goalkeepers in Europe. So I don't know what's going on with this way. Maybe we've just been coasting. We've been coasting, and when you're winning,
I'll get sorted out though.
Yeah, I think it's going to get sorted out. I think next 2 years is going to be like a massive year in terms of getting these contracts sorted, man. Because maybe I think City, because we've been winning so much, maybe we fell into the trap of giving some of these players big money. Yeah, I mean, and maybe looking at likes of Edison and not really fairly understanding what that guy gives us. But I think that'll get sorted out 100%.
I mean, like Pete Jones makes a great point there about Calvin part of the Braithwaite. Everton can't afford 150 grand a week.
Nah, Braithwaite's going United, man.
No, but Everton can't afford Calvin Phillips' wages.
Yeah.
So it's a non-starter.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where Phillips is going to go. I don't know.
United.
But wherever he goes, we'll be paying a lot of his wages. That's for facts. Sign says, get Mbappe. Am I mentally ill? I don't think you're mentally ill. No, I don't think so, bro.
$1 million a week.
Yeah, you know. That would rile.
By the way, you've got Edison's and Haaland's contract negotiations to get into the mix yet.
Yeah, I know. And big up to Prodigal with the final one. Says KDB knows he can't play every big game. He himself said it. It's time to sit back and I help the team and let young ones take the lead. He said it in a Sky interview. Exactly, bro. That's why I'm not asked about it. I'm not worried about it in the slightest. KDB's not an idiot, man. He's 33, getting on 34 next year. So he's got to accept that he won't be playing all the big games. Anyway, we discussed that. Final part of the show before we wrap up. Rodrygo, bro, has been twerking for rivals. He's been twerking for Man City. Rodrygo, obviously the winger at Real Madrid. Fantastic player, probably underrated actually. I think that a lot of the praise goes to the likes of Vinny Jr., Bellingham, Camavinga, but Rodrygo's a serious player as well. We've been linked with him. Whether or not the source is good, whatever, we don't know. But Rodrygo was speaking about Manchester City. He called us the best team in world football, which hasn't gone down very well with some of the Madristas. Some of the press in Madrid are not liking what he's been saying. So yeah, it's this J. Felix Diaz says, Man City are interested in Rodrygo. As things stand, Rodrygo wants to stay at Real Madrid with his club very calm regarding the forward. So is there going to be someone at Real Madrid who's going to be available this summer? Because if they sign Mbappe, right, they're going to have Mbappe, Vinny Jr., Jude Bellingham, Rodrygo, Valverde, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, all and you can't fit them all in the team. One of them's going to be dropped. So should City be looking at one of these players, Martin? I don't know who, maybe Rodrygo, and going, you might be the one that's on the bench this summer for this season for Madrid, now that they've signed Mbappe. Come to City and play for us. What are you saying?
I know there is interest. There's been interest. I got told this a long time ago. I didn't believe it because they had a £1 billion release clause. I was like, no, you're talking garbage. I think Craig Bartime even mentioned him a little while back as well. Rodrygo is I don't think he's going to leave. I think you're talking 90 to 100 million to get him out the door. I know someone's going to come out who's got a release clause. Them release clause mean nothing. They're just in there just to look pretty. Nobody's ever, they're not expecting £1 billion release clause. They would take about 90. Did you see Tolman's tweet about 5 minutes ago?
No, I'm not seeing it. What's he saying?
Basically saying he'd like Rodrygo, but there's no room. He's the opposite to you.
Yeah, but
this is why I don't think there'll be a winger coming in.
Well, yeah, but hang on a minute. Because Savio, we don't even know if he's staying. Right? We don't even know if this guy's staying at the football club. He might be loaned. Doku and Jack Grealish are left. Phil is now a midfielder. You know, Phil is, in my opinion, is you don't put Phil Foden in the winger debate, and Bernardo Silva might still leave anyway.
I suppose it comes down to your Oscar Bob. How bad do you want to get Oscar Bob into the squads? This is why some of our top EDS do disappear, LB. Because we ignore them and go and buy somebody else.
Oh yeah, 100%. If I was an agent,
go and get a Rodrygo.
Yeah, but that's no problem. I don't think City have a problem with that though. Because City are selling these players for 25, 30, 40 million in some cases. City are not going to be sat there too often and go, "Oh, we made a mistake," are they? They might have made a mistake with Cole Palmer, but when was the last time we made a mistake in our academy, letting someone leave? You know, Carlos Borges. Everyone in the summer was like, "Carlos Borges, you got to give him a chance." He went to Ajax. What's he doing now? I think he's back in the academy at Ajax, I believe. Could be wrong on that, but he's not doing particularly. He's not tore the
road. He was going to
up.
Forest and bloody
exactly. So like, I don't really have a problem with the EDS players wanting to leave. Like, it would be nice to see them play, but ultimately, like, the game's the game. Be good enough, or you're going to be gone.
Listen, of course, I would love a Rodrygo. I think Rodrygo is an absolute superstar of a player. Personally, I prefer Valverde because I think he's even better.
I've said for years. I've said for years, and chat will back me up on this one. People who watch me on City Extra. I've said for years, Valverde for me is almost like the perfect Bernardo replacement because he can play right wing, he can play midfield, he works extremely hard. I think Valverde would be like the perfect.
Valverde would be up there. No, so listen, Rodrygo's an excellent player, and if we could somehow do it and get an 85 million pound deal, great. But I just don't know. It's a very. I don't think that one's got legs. I don't think it's going to happen. Right now, I'm going to shock a lot of people. I don't think we're going to be as busy as people are thinking. There's got to be a domino somewhere. There's got to be a domino fall, and I don't know. I don't see where the domino is. I was 100%, as everyone was. We were all told Bernardo's gone. Bernardo staying has now changed everything again. Does Bruno turn up? I don't know.
Well, you got to get someone in midfield. We can't keep playing Rodri for the amount of games that he's playing.
You know, to me, I got told the bid's going next week. The Newcastle guy I speak to told me about the kit launch, and they wanted him as the face of the kit launch because that's happening next week. So
why? Who done that? City did. City done that, or Newcastle wanted him?
No, Newcastle are launching that.
Why on earth? Why on earth would Newcastle? What is running through the person's mind? Yeah. To make Bruno the face of the kit when he's got a release clause.
He's the biggest seller of that kit, isn't he?
Well, why don't you just do Isak?
I don't know.
Isak must sell a lot of kits, and there's no way he's leaving.
Apparently, Isak and Gordon, but apparently, statistically, Guimaraes is the biggest shirt seller at the place. So you know when they put do you remember how Villa did it? They were very clever. Villa didn't put Grealish's face up on the new kit launches.
That would be smart. That would be a smart thing to do.
But because Newcastle are pushing ahead, I think because they've got this brand new, amazing Adidas deal, they wanted him there.
Yeah, no, I get that they wanted him there, but if you've got to understand that, hang on a minute, there's a player here with a release clause.
Everyone buys shirts, then a week
later. Well, exactly. That's why it seems very stupid to me. It's not like they've not got any other decent players. Bloody hell, they've got the second best striker in the league.
Well, Jake's Newcastle man, he said because Bruno ain't leaving. That's what they've been told.
Well, maybe that's the case. But if he's got a release clause, ultimately, it's not down to Newcastle, is it? If someone activates a release clause and Bruno says, "Yeah, I'm going," it's just done. It's not in Newcastle's control. So why would Newcastle make him the face of a shirt campaign where he might not even be a player?
Where's my phone? The exact quote I got was, "Bruno wants, and if City want Bruno, City will get Bruno."
Why wouldn't you just make Isak? Because Isak is in their control. Someone bids for him, they can just be like, "Nah, he's not got a release clause." Why would you make a player with a release clause where City and Arsenal are both sniffing around him? Why would you make him the face of the thing? It's ridiculous. Yeah. You just do it as Isak. I'm not having that Isak doesn't sell close to the amount of shirts that Bruno doesn't sell. I'm not having that. Isak must be close, especially after this season. He must be close to the shirt sales of Bruno. I'd imagine.
I mean, it isn't Bruno who removed Kimmich. Because I think the buying situation is very intriguing because they've got 4 massive players all about to go into contract negotiations.
Yeah.
You got Kimmich, Bonzo Davis.
Company needs to do a little job there, don't they?
Musiala wants a contract, and who was the other one? There was 4. Sane. Leroy Sané's on a free next summer, by the way, at the moment.
What we need here, we need Vincent Company to go in there and tell Musiala that he's not going to be playing. And then the day after, City just ring him up and say, "Hiya, mate, just wondering if you was fancying a transfer." Boom. Here's to you, Vincent Company.
I'll be honest, Newcastle ain't like this, and I've said this to my Newcastle mate. I think it's a lack of ambition from Bruno. Bruno Guimaraes is doing a Harry Kane.
And you're going to get cooked.
I don't care. Nobody is. Because he's not going to be able to show his grandchildren, oh, look, love and respect. Great. Love and respect is brilliant. Grandkids are like, where's your medals, Grandad? Didn't get any. Sorry. Got a lot of love and respect, though. And I don't care, but this is what he's 26, 27 nearly. I'm not being funny. By the time Newcastle are in a position to start winning leagues, etc., he's going to be above 30. It's going to take Newcastle. He'll get there, but it's going to take him 3 to 4, 5 years to get there.
But maybe he just wants to chill, innit? Maybe he's happy at Newcastle, bro.
Then he's Harry Kane version 2, then.
Maybe, but maybe there is a bit of loyalty in the game, bro. Maybe there is. Maybe he just wants to stay in it.
Oh yeah, because I can show my grandkids loyalty.
Well, hang on a minute though. What about if he might just be like, what about if he just says, right, I'll give you 1 more year?
Who said no one's coming back next year for him?
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like if he does well this year,
yeah.
Like, I don't know what his response might.
Pep's not here next year. Tough. See ya.
Maybe that's why he's thinking about not coming then, because he wants to join Pep. But if Pep's only going to be here for a year, then he's like, I'd rather stay at Newcastle.
Yeah, and you stay at Newcastle, Eddie Howe.
Fucking hell.
No, I mean, no, I'm not doing this nice. Listen, I understand what people are saying and I get it. But with due respect, Eddie Howe and Newcastle are at Manchester City and Pep Guardiola.
Mm-hmm.
You get one shot in life. Football is a very short career. Do you want medals or do you want respect? And this thing we won't get respected. He will get respected, sir. Will he get loved? Probably not as much in Newcastle. I 100%. If he wants to stay, great. Good luck to him. But I don't want to read in 2 years that I didn't win any medals.
Mm. We'll see.
Harry Kane had to leave in the end. Harry Kane left in the end.
And look how that's gone for him.
Well, exactly.
It's probably scared him off, bro. Bruno's probably looking at Harry Kane and saying, hang on a minute, I'm better off just fucking staying here where I'm loved.
All right. Say we don't get Bruno. Who is your alternative?
Kimmich.
Don't get Kimmich. I'm
Kimmich.
Okay.
Half the price. Experience, ready for the here and now. Next season, let's go for it. Let's try and win every single trophy we're in. Go for it. Pep last year, might be, might not be. Might be Pep's next year. Why you want to get João Neves? Yeah. If listen, here's what my thing is. If Pep,
you don't like João Neves.
No. If Pep Guardiola turned around today and signed a 5-year contract, I'd sign João Neves. Because I'm like, oh yeah, it's all right. If he has a bit of a dodgy year next year, don't worry. He can build up over the next 5 years. Next year is Pep's last year as it stands.
Mm-hmm.
You need to give him the best tools for the job to go boom and try and go out with a bang. I don't want him signing the 18-year-olds next year, this summer. I don't want it because I'll need Pep to have everything possible to win as much as he possibly can in the final year before he goes. Now, some people say, hang on a minute, LB, there's more to life than this next year. What about the year after when we've got a new manager? Then we'll be in a more difficult position. Not ask me. I'll deal with that as I get there, yeah? I'll deal with that as I get to the bridge. Right now, I'm not at the bridge. I'm not at the bridge yet. I'm ready for it. And my team is a good team, and it just needs a little bit of. It is short-term thinking, Andrew. 100% right. But I've already accepted in my mind that after Pep Guardiola, there's going to be a bit of a dip. So I'd rather next year go out with a bang and go out with a squad that is capable, of winning every trophy that they're in, and then maybe having to deal with a year where we have to drop off and sell some older players and get some new ones in, than just having a year next year where it just sort of fades out because you signed Neves and you signed a couple of other young players and you've already got Savio and you've got Bob, and it's like, oh, well, maybe the year after that with a new manager, maybe the players will be a bit more experienced. But what about if the new manager turns out to be a dud? There's no guarantee this next manager is going to be successful. He might be here for a year and then be like, oh, so he wasn't actually the right one. If we get Mitchell, for example, at Girona, who's done a fantastic job, and he comes in, there's no guarantee that he'll come in and be the right man. You know what I mean? We're not signing up to a 5-year process after this, by the way, guys. Yeah, we're not doing the whole phase approach that Arsenal have done, and that maybe that like Chelsea want to do, and that United are now going to do. No, we're not in that. We're in the Liverpool position. Liverpool don't need a process. They're there to win. They've got a team that can win stuff, as proved by the fact that they got to the Carabao final and won the Carabao, and they finished third. We need a manager that can come in and win. So for me, go for it next. And then after that, we'll deal with it. You know what I mean? We need to let a couple players go. Boom. Anyway, that's where I'm at. Let's wrap up with these super chats before we end the stream. I would take 10 mil for Calvin and 20 for Stones. Better than paying salary and not let them go on a free. Take salary out of the price. Cut by buyout salary. Well, the thing is with Calvin Phillips, like, I don't even think anyone would pay 10 million for that guy the way the guy's playing. Like, you listen to the way West Ham fans have been speaking about him this year. Yeah. I mean, it was terrible. So I think it's going to be a loan situation. It'll be the same as Cancelo, where we loan him for a few years. Stones, I'd keep him personally. I personally would keep him and take the risk, because if you do get a good year out of him, one of the best centre backs in the world. And we do have adequate cover. We've got Gvardiol, we've got Ake, we've got Akanji, we've got Diaz. It's not like we're low. If we had four centre backs and he was one of the four, then maybe I'd be like, we're a bit light there. But we do have 5. So I'm not too bad on the Stones one. With Pep leaving, will let any player even come? Of course they will, bro. We signed Robinho. We signed David Silva, Yaya Toure. You know what I mean? Let's not pretend like no one's going to join our football club when Pep Guardiola leaves. Like, come on, man. We signed, who else did we signed? Kevin De Bruyne. These players all came before Pep. And Sign says, oh, agent company, please send us Musiala for free. Yeah, it might be interesting to see how he gets on there as well. Yeah, Aguero. Come on, man. What's going on here? Big up, Signs. Listen, big up to you guys for joining us today on today's stream. I am back now. We will be there for the regular streams after my short holiday and Martin's holiday, actually. Enjoy your holiday, bro.
Did you get my video?
I did. I was very like, you twat. I'm pretty sure the day that you sent it, I'm pretty sure it was like grim weather as well.
Yeah, it was. That was the whole reason I sent it.
Yeah. Oh, nice one, mate. Cheers for that. Cheers for that. Yeah. Now, where did you go?
Santorini.
Oh, that's nice, man.
Lovely little sunset.
Was it?
Yeah. And then some weeks off to the good old USA for a little bit of city tour.
Yeah, I know you are, aren't you? You're going and doing a city tour, man.
There's only about 5 first teamers going on.
Yeah, we have no squad.
Watching the academy.
Yeah. Nah, be decent, man. And I've got the Euros coming up as well. So, by the way, guys, Euro watch-alongs, we will be there. The only watch-alongs I'm not doing is England, because I'll be out with my mates. So that's like my time. So I'm doing every other watch-along. Slovakia and that, the Scottish guys in the chat will be doing yours. But England.
Can I plug the BBC thing?
The BBC thing?
That podcast.
Oh yes, right. I thought you meant the bro. I thought you meant the BBC tune, man. I thought you meant yeah, man. Let me get it up on your Twitter account. One sec.
25th anniversary from 1999. If anyone wants to go watch it, I had a lovely chat with Joe Royle. Sir Joe, yesterday.
Yeah. Martin's big time now, guys.
Get off. No, I'm not. No, he was an absolute scholar and a saint. It was amazing to meet him. Old Joe Royle. Could have done without Gaz.
Yeah. Have you posted the link on here?
No, I put it on there. It's on. If you go on the BBC Manchester podcast, it's on there. It's downloadable now.
Can you not just do a tweet now, though? Oh,
yeah,
is this it? Is this it? It's here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. There you go.
All right.
I'll put it on the Twitter anyway.
Yeah, Martin put on Twitter. If you want to go listen to that, guys. Is it listen or watch?
Listen.
Listen. If you want to go and listen to that, then yeah, follow Martin on Twitter at Horsey City, or I'll just retweet Martin's tweet when he gets out now, and you can go listen to that, man. I've not listened to it yet. I'm gonna listen to it this afternoon. So yeah, big up, man. Big up for coming on.
Yeah, anytime, man.
You guys can find Mancunian Way link in the description. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. I'll probably be back up. Oh yeah, I can link it in the chat. That's a good.
I've done it.
What have you put it in the chat?
Oh no, won't let me do it.
Oh, why?
This comment has failed to post because it's got a BBC link.
Oh, let me see if I can do it. Maybe
because it's BBC.
Yeah, I might be able to do it. There you go. Does that work?
Does it work for you?
I just posted it in the chat. Hopefully that works there, guys. But you can go click on that. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it works.
Anyway, I'll put it live on there.
Right, I'll be back later on. Big up to Martin, Horsey City on Twitter, and link in the description for the YouTube channel. Back later on tonight, man, for another stream. We are getting back on the grind now. Euro content starting very soon. And guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.